Welcome to your daily dose. My name's Robert. That's my pal Susan. She's shaking her head, but I think she's thinking yes and.
Oh, yes, I am. And I want to talk about yes and.
Uh-huh,
I
uh-huh.
want to talk about yaks. I
Sure.
just, I'm not sure everybody really knows about yaks. It's so beautiful.
They don't and they need to. What do you mean by it being beautiful? What does it mean to you?
um, where to start? Uh, gosh. Um, I love who I am in that space.
Mm.
I love how other people I think we all surprise ourselves when we give ourselves permission to trust that experience of just, I mean, kind of like what we're doing right now. This is crazy,
Right.
unscripted. I didn't know you were going to ask me that question. And right when you did, my chair rolled over my skirt. I got trapped.
And I had a bug on my neck as you were answering that because I was just out in the yard. So yeah, it's all part
Right,
of
right. Yes, it's real life, and there's this lovely thing that happens when we if individuals sit with each other and want to give each other gifts. It's just a beautiful thing.
So yeah, I mean, I love the first thing you said was I love who I am in that space. So let's unpack that. First, I love who I am. How many people can honestly ever say that at any space, right? To give themselves the place to do that. So you give yourself that and in that space. And as we've talked about, I have found and uncovered, especially I think this semester with my study into pedagogy, the most important thing I do, gosh, when we started, it isn't about the games, it isn't about improv, it is about the environment. It is about the space that we create. Yeah, I give some templatized, version of that, but as I always say, I don't know what's about to happen. And I think it allows everybody to be free to be their best vulnerable creative selves. And that's rare.
And by space, I think we need to unpack that a little bit too. I think we're talking about the energy, the
Yeah, because we're all in our own rooms in these boxes. I mean,
right.
it's so weird that we're doing this via Zoom, but that's where this space is created. This space becomes, visceral. That it's, even though there's a whole house and a yard and whatever else around me, this is where and who I am with my box and your box, and it becomes our space.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and then there's the inner space. I was really talking about like a metaphoric reality
Right.
that comes just about every time we get together with the Jam for Joy, and it,
Well, did you see at the start of, we just finished a beautiful day one summit between two, the first two groups of the day one PD superheroes, which is
summit.
the other
Yes.
program under Yes and Exercise. So please feel free to visit that on the website. There's great interviews and information. And we got some cross collaboration between the groups, right? Which was beautiful. But one of the first things that happened was Kelly reached toward Nina to say, I've been thinking about being that little cactus that you made me all week long. And it was the
Yeah,
game we played
so
that
sweet.
allowed her to transform into, and she was the cutest little cactus in the corner of the screen. And Nina started describing her, and she became more of, she had no idea she was going to be a cactus. And she yes anded herself into it. And it's given her joy this whole week that she
And
has
she gave
been.
and she gave Nina the gift today
Yeah.
of going back to that.
And that's what it is. It's real. I mean, I keep harping on it. I'm going to keep playing with. We're going to invoke Brene Brown into our lives because there's too many connections. She's got to be here. And then she talks about the reality of our emotions, that we are emotional beings inside of logical physical forms. To borrow the police, we are spirits in a material world. Same type of thing, right? By honoring those emotions and the complexity of them and giving space for all the varieties in which people experience them and say yes and as Beth was saying in our group, to yes and her, that we're all, no matter high or low, bad or great, whatever our day is, we're all welcome and safe.
Yes, I was impressed that Kelly had the courage to say, "We keep hearing about that group that went first. kind of like they were better. They got it
That's what
all.
she's hearing. That's what she was hearing, for sure. Not my
And,
intention, but valid in her response.
well, having been in the first group, I can testify we didn't get it all right. We still, there's still all kinds of issues. And that's how it is in all of life, right? We
Absolutely.
kind of give ourselves permission to accept that.
Well, no, I mean, think of it in any hierarchy. I mean, the freshmen in high school look at the seniors and be like, oh my God, they've got it together. And the seniors are like, ah,
Yeah. And siblings going through
Yes.
school. My brother is one class grade behind me. We
Hmm.
have very different personalities and energy and, not intellect necessarily, but they would always say, oh, are you Susan's brother? And it was like, no, I'm my own person, actually.
Fought that myself with an older sister. I get it completely.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think if our last takeaway is starting at the beginning, wanting people to know what Yes and Exercise is, just to say, please go to the website. That we are starting our first round of curriculum classes, which is where we really can build ensemble, that magical word. We'll
Uh,
talk further about that.
just so cool.
It starts on Tuesday and Friday of next week. So May
Yeah.
10th, mark your calendars and get to the website because actually spots are filling up quickly. It caps at
We
16.
don't even have very many spots left, so it's just really cool.
It doesn't cost. It's a pay it forward model. Come play with us, and we'll leave it
That's
with
what I
that.
was
Okay.
just about to say. It is. There's no charge. It's just such a beautiful welcome mat. Come and play.
I love that. That's it.
Yeah.